The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericaempowerment.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome back. I hope that you all had a beautiful week, and we are excited to be meeting with you here today. This is Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. And today we're going to be talking about how to live an empowered life by truly living from your core. And one of the things I have found interesting and personally a challenge as I've gone on my journey in life is really being able to and willing to authentically live as I am, who I am, and be willing to share that, really living from my core. And there were sometimes layers I had to strip away as I went through life and had the opportunity to speak and share, and I would discover I had another wall or I had another something I was hiding behind. And every time I would look at leaning in, or I would look at stepping around that wall or sharing a little bit more of me, a discomfort would emerge or a fear. And the initial reaction to fear sometimes is to kind of put on our battle gear and try to feel differently about something. Or we avoid whatever the thing is altogether because we're afraid or because it's uncomfortable. And something I have learned, the secret to dancing with fear, to dealing with discomfort, is actually to lean in, to explore what is it that I am afraid of? What is it that I am uncomfortable with? And there's some great insight and wisdom I have discovered comes from digging in a little bit deeper. And as I do that and I lean in closer and I embrace the discovery of what I'm uncomfortable about or what I'm afraid with, somehow the fear and discomfort start to ease as I'm stepping closer and as I'm walking through it. And I have found on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that discomfort, great experiences, amazing discoveries, learning where I start and stop, learning what I truly love to do and what I don't like to do. But until I was willing to lean into that fear or to go through the discomfort, I was creating a self-imposed prison, in a sense, making rules that didn't exist about how I interacted in the world or didn't interact in the world. And one of the bravest, most courageous things I've ever been able to do in my life was to lean in and really discover who I am, really discover where I start and stop, and really discover how I want to interact with the world, and then being willing to step forward into it. And the guests that I have on my show today, I'm really excited about because in different ways, both of them, and Ron and Nancy, I welcome you to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.
And I don't know if you know all of the reasons why I selected to have both of you on the show at the same time and why I'm so excited about that. So I thought I would share with you as well as share with the listeners. Something I really love about both Ron and Nancy is that they are both stretching. They're both growing. They're really tapping into who they are, what their passion is, what their core is, what they are called to bring forward, even if they don't quite know how it all comes together, how it's all going to end up, or what all the steps are. They're growing a lot in the process, which we do when we're stretching and we're trying new things. And they keep taking steps forward. And so for me, I love seeing that in both of your lives, that you guys are a yes. You're a yes to wherever you're supposed to go by living from your core, sharing the gifts and talents that you guys have, and you're stepping fully in and figuring out some of the how along the way. And that's why I was so excited to have both of you on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That means a lot to me.
You're very welcome. And listeners, I don't believe you're listening by accident today, that there's a reason that you're leaning in to this particular show, that you were drawn to tune in and to enjoy this journey and segment with us. And what I invite you to do is to really open yourself up. And it helps if you take a deep breath. You can ground yourself in a sense by putting both feet on the ground. If you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel. Do not close your eyes. But those of you who are able to, and it's safe, you can close your eyes briefly. And guests, I invite you to do this as well. Take a deep breath and just see, what is it that I need today? What is it that will help me move forward in a more powerful way, a more fully being me way? Is there a word, a phrase, a thought, a picture that comes to mind as we sit for just a moment in that heart space? And I invite you, it helps frequently to put your hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, and one on your head. And take a deep breath. And see if there's a word or a phrase that comes to mind. And capture that thought for a moment. If you're able to write it down, I invite you to write it down. And Ron, I don't know if you're open to sharing the word or phrase that came to you.
Yes, definitely. What came to me was to honor the journey. Because when you started to honor me and you started to appreciate the journey that I'm on, tears started to pool under my eyes, because I started to realize that maybe I need to do that more with myself. And you saw me. You saw who I am and the journey that I'm going through to really connect to this core presence, to connect to my truth and share my gift to the world. And I need to do that more. I need to feel that more.
Thank you. And I'm just breathing that in with you. The honor yourself. So frequently we can do that for others, and we can forget to honor ourselves and our journey and what we're called to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nancy, how about you? Did you have something come to your heart or mind?
Oh yes. Mine was to allow. I'm one that tends to want to do, and know the answers, and it's like just sit back and allow things to happen according to the plan. That it's not my plan, it's God's plan. So I just have to sit and allow it to happen, because He knows more than I do. So
beautiful.
That gives me the calm to sit and be still.
Good. So being still and allowing. Thank you. It's interesting. That was really, I tend to be a doer as well, Nancy.
Yeah.
and that's definitely been part of my journey I have my structure and agenda and different things, and then being able to set them to the side, do the preparation, and then allow or go with the flow. So it's really beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for me, the word that came to mind was myth. And it was that I think there's this myth out there that we wait until we feel comfortable, or we wait until the fear eases. And what I've learned, especially if we're tapping into our core purpose and stretching in that way, it can be uncomfortable and vulnerable. And it will be that whether you do it now or you do it 10 years from now, because you're treading into an area and space perhaps you haven't been before. And our mind tries to protect us from new things because we don't know if we can survive that, whether or not there's true danger. And so something that just came up to me, for me, as we were talking about, is just to let people know that, and myself, remind myself that that's a myth, that I'm going to feel comfortable or fearless before I take the steps, or as I'm taking the steps, and just reminding myself that it's an emotion, and to continue to lean in, honor myself, and like you were saying, Ron, honor that journey and allow those emotions and feelings to flow through, but to keep moving in the direction that I'm called to move. So just that word myth really came to my heart and mind.
Beautiful.
And I wanted to take just a moment to share a little bit about how, listeners, you can interact with us, because we love to hear from you. This show has been created for you. It's an opportunity for us to encourage you on your journey, to help you live an empowered life. And so we love to hear from you. A way that you can call in and ask myself a question or any of my guests is 888-346-9141. Again, that's 888-346-9141. And if you're a little bit shy, I just want to remind you, I will never share your name or give up your name unless you decide to share it yourself. So I want you to feel very safe. For those of you that prefer to communicate by email, you can do so whether it's during the show or after. There, if you look on the Voice America page, if that's where you're listening to this show, right below the banner, you're going to see where you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, which we absolutely love, of course. But right below that, there's a gray box that you can type in your question and send a message to the host, and I will get that directly. Or you can send your message or question to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and I will make sure to reach out to you. We'll answer as many questions as we can during the show, after, and I can always work those questions into our next show if for some reason we run out of time today. So with that, I encourage you to sit for just a moment longer in that heart space, and whatever word or thought came to your mind. And we're going to lean into the commercial here, and we'll be back in just a moment.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. Join Rebecca Hall Gruyter this fall for a Women's Enrichment Retreat, November 13th, 14th, and 15th at the beautiful Westminster Retreat Center in Alamo, California, in San Francisco's East Bay area. Take time for you and step into your vision in a powerful and sustainable way. This is an all-inclusive retreat in a beautiful and nourishing environment, giving you plenty of time to relax, decompress, and refresh, while having the opportunity to connect with yourself and other heart-centered women on a deep level. To find out more, visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/WER.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings of the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our wall. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Build your better business. Achieve that goal. Make good on that resolution. The Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your break, that you leaned in to listen to your heart and your mind and see what wisdom was there for you. I find when we lean in a little bit and really seek what it is that we need, we have some direction. We have a great place to start, a great place to seek support if that's what we need. So always encourage building pauses into your life and asking those questions of your heart, mind, body, and soul. Our first guest is Nancy Lee Ma, and Nancy is a CPA of Crystal Clear Profits Incorporated. She works with small businesses and has done so for the past 25 years, specializes in auditing and taxes. She is a CPA, but listen to this, she is a CPA with life coaching skills. And she helps you run your business more effectively, really maximizing tax saving opportunities and having those things work for you. And I was laughing, Nancy, because so often we think of CPAs in a certain box or category. And I love that you have such a holistic approach to your business and are creating some amazing things to support people in a very holistic fashion. So, Nancy, I welcome you.
Thank you. Yes, and when I started that life coaching was actually, I didn't realize it was going to change me. I took it for the benefit to be able to help my clients better. So it changed me in the process. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Sometimes we'll take these courses or these programs and we're doing it for the other people and there's a transformation for us on the other side as well and in the process. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So Nancy, I wanted to dig in a little bit to your why. You know, why working with people as a CPA and in this holistic approach is so important to you.
Well, for many years, I thought I felt like I was living somebody else's dream, somebody else's, what they expected of me. And finally I said, this just doesn't feel right to me. I can't help my clients after the fact. I said, I need to do something with them before because it was just painful for me to watch. As my clients would come in and I would do their taxes, and sometimes I had good news like, oh, you're getting a refund. And then there was some not so good feelings of, oh, you owe a lot of money. And some of these clients were, well, I made all this money, but I have no money to pay my taxes. So got me to start looking at how can I help my clients. And that kind of started me on my own journey. So through that, I realized I need to change the way my focus is, to start helping them in the front end rather than, just on the back end of doing the taxes.
And what are some things that you've discovered in that journey to help them on that front end?
Well, a lot of what we carry as young children carry into our adult lives, and so they're patterns that the way our relationship with money especially is one thing. And so I realized that if I can help them through that life coaching process, their relationship with their money, their relationships with their families and their businesses and their clients and everything else will change as they start to go through and remove those beliefs that they had with their finances.
Beautiful. And what's something, because I know you're doing a lot of things actually to support people in that arena, but I know you have something launching next week that I would love for you to share a little bit about your vision of why you created what you created and what it is that you're launching starting Monday, actually.
Yes. Well, and this is, like I said, living from your core, as you talked about. This is truly I found my purpose, and when you find your purpose, nothing stops you. And so what happened is, as I went out, I knew I needed to get this message out in a bigger way, and I just couldn't figure it out. So, stopping to take in like how God provide me with the answers, the direction. And through that, I was like, okay, I need to do a telesummit. And it's as if these things just appear at the right time for you. That's I always look at God has perfect timing for us in what He's called us to do. So He immediately connected me with a coaching program that was going to teach me how to go online. And through this online process, we were asked to do a telesummit. And so then I had to go out and start searching for speakers, 21 of them. I mean, not just a few, 21. So then, and as that started to come about, then I was able to really put together a telesummit that's actually the journey of your life. Because your journey of your life parallels your journey of your business. And so that's how it's coming about. That's very cool. It has everything that could possibly well, not everything, because there's so much involved in business, but it does cover a lot of the basics and some of the things that people don't even realize in your business that you need to be conscious about that will help you save money in tax-wise and make them more profitable.
And Nancy, I know we've had multiple conversations. I'm really honored to be one of the people that is interviewed in your series that you put together. And one of the reasons I said yes, and one of the reasons I love what you're doing is because your vision is so big. And it's so collaborative, and it's so like there is more need out there than any one of us can do on our own. So we need to come together. We need to bring our expertise together and really support people from all the way through that, like you were saying, that cycle of a business. And it's a very holistic approach that you're talking about, and mindset, and even taking things to the next level, that you've really put together an impressive lineup of experts to walk them through this journey. And it's all free. It's a resource to support them in a very holistic level and really connecting them at a deeper level to their money, to their core, to their business, so that they can really build all that they're called to build. So I really appreciate that about you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about that?
as far as the main purpose of that telesummit is that I want to educate and empower people so that they can have a more fulfilled life. Because when you're so focused on just trying to make money, you can't live the life that God created for you to live. And so as I thought to myself, I know I can't do this alone. We were designed to be in relationships. And when we support one another and build those relationships, everything else falls into place. And so that's where I come from in looking at, we're here to support one another. We want each other to grow. And as we mature in our own level of growth and development, we are asked to bring in new people and train them. So that's what my whole goal is. I do have a bigger vision, but I know to describe it here would take me a long time. But one of the other steps that I am going out to teach is financial literacy. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to be taking that into the public schools in our area, and eventually, I think with the platform and the experience that I have through the telesummits, I'm actually going to be able to utilize that as a place to teach financial literacy as well.
Beautiful. And Nancy, I know that you put together an amazing free gift for us, and I would love for you to take just a moment to describe that. And I want to also let listeners know that if you click on her free gift, and I will let you know how, then you will also have the opportunity to sign up for the free telesummit. So really, I encourage you to lean in, listen to what she's about to share with you, and I encourage you to take action. So Nancy, do you mind describing your free gift?
Sure. I have actually, when you log into my website at crystalclearprofits.com, you have the opportunity to get a free Women's in Business e-guide or the 23 tax tips for business people. They're both excellent resources for you. It's not as in-depth, but because finances are so personal and individualized, but it'll give you the basics. And periodically I'm going to be updating my website so you can check for resources, because that's my whole goal in my business, is to be a financial resource for all entrepreneurs. And eventually I will have things in there for individual, for your personal taxes and your personal finances.
Perfect. Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
And we wanted to make it really easy for you listeners to access her gift, gifts from past shows, as well as the gift Ron's going to be describing. So if you're on the Voice America site listening, if you scroll over to the right-hand side, you're going to see a yellow-orange link that says Free Show Gifts. You simply click on that, enter in your name and your email address, and it will open up this amazing list of free gifts and descriptions, and you're going to see where Nancy's gift is that you can click on and access, as well as Ron's gift. So I really encourage you, as we go to break, to check that out. If you happen to be listening to the replay or on iTunes, you can actually go directly to my website, which is www.yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. and click on the radio show tab, and right at the top you're going to see I want more free gifts, and you simply click on that and you will have that same amazing portfolio of gifts open up to you. So again, make sure to check out those gifts during our break, and we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're on Facebook along with some of the greatest minds of the world, and that includes you. Visit us on Facebook at Voice America Empowerment.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Join Rebecca Hall Gruyter this fall for a Women's Enrichment Retreat, November 13th, 14th, and 15th at the beautiful Westminster Retreat Center in Alamo, California, in San Francisco's East Bay area. Take time for you and step into your vision in a powerful and sustainable way. This is an all-inclusive retreat in a beautiful and nourishing environment, giving you plenty of time to relax, decompress, and refresh, while having the opportunity to connect with yourself and other heart-centered women on a deep level. To find out more, visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/WER.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed your break and that you're checking out those amazing free gifts. And it was interesting behind the scenes. I love to give you some behind the scenes moments. We were all talking a little bit and sharing how every step of the journey, every day, we have an opportunity to grow and learn and really connect at a deeper level. And so it was really fun to just explore that a little bit, both you, Ron, and Nancy, as we were chatting about that a little bit. And Nancy, can I share a quick comment that you made?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Okay. So Nancy was talking about how, you learn things every day. And a lot of it's when you ask how someone's doing and you lean in, and a lot of it's about that connection and that relationship. And I just thought that was really beautiful and a great reminder. And then Ron, do you mind if I share a comment that you made? Okay. And Ron was talking about how important it is to connect and to live from the core. And he was really appreciating some of what Nancy shared, how it wasn't just about numbers. And sometimes we think about CPAs and taxes and numbers and auditing, and we just kind of shy away a little bit. That's not your words. That's not how you said it, Ron, but I'm just kind of putting a context around it. And what you really appreciated about what some of Nancy was sharing is it was so from the heart, and it was so helping empower people and living from the core. And I just thought it would be valuable to listeners to share a little bit of the behind the scenes dialogue that went on. And then Ron, I wanted to officially welcome you to the show. Ron is a transformational coach. He is a creator of the 6 pathways to living from your core. He empowers especially heart-centered people to really discover their core purpose and step into it. And I know you have a big heart and passion for this, and you actually purposely left a very successful 16-year career in Silicon Valley to help people discover and step into their core. I welcome you to our show today.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm so honored to be here because you are one of those living examples of individuals that do live from your core. and you inspire people, and you inspire people's hearts to open up. And the heart is one of the pathways to really connecting to your core essence. And so I want to thank you for this amazing opportunity.
Well, you are very welcome, and I'm really excited and honored to have you on my show today. So thank you, Ron. And I wanted to lean in a little bit to your why. Why helping people live from their core? Why is that so important to you? And it's so important to the level that you left a successful, Silicon Valley career to further help people do this. Why is that work so important to you?
Well, thanks for that question, Rebecca. When I was 1 year old, my parents had decided that they wanted to come to the United States. We were living in the Philippines, and they wanted to start this new life, and they had 2 children. I was 1 and my sister was 2, and they thought, wow, I don't know if we can make it in this new country with both children. So they decided to leave me in the Philippines. And they went off into their adventure, and I went into and lived this life separate from them. And I grew up with a very loving family with my grandparents, my aunts. But when I was 4, my father showed up on my doorstep, and he says, Ron, I'm your real dad. And, we went on this adventure to try to establish ourselves in this new land so you can have a better life. And now we're ready to take you home. And I was really excited to go to this new place called America that everyone in the Philippines wanted to go to. But when I reached there, I felt something in my heart. This homesickness, this realization that I have just lost everything in my life. I lost the people that nurtured and loved me. I lost my friends, my house, my toys, my country, and my language. And here I was in a strange place with a strange family, even though they were my family. And this deep realization and fear had driven me most of my life. And even though it drove me to worry about what people thought of me and worry about being rejected and abandoned, I actually was able to find success that was driven by this fear. I became successful in the outside world because I wanted people to accept me, to appreciate me, to say, wow, Ron made it. Look, he has a successful career. He's living in a house in the hills with his family. But when I hit my 40s, I realized something had shifted, and that life is more than this external success, and that I had been living this life not because I felt in my heart that this is who I am and what I want to do in this world, but it was coming from fear. And when I came to that realization, after I heard that my cousin that was only 21 years old was hit by a drunk driver and passed away within 30 minutes, I started to worry, how about if I was hit by a car and had 30 minutes to live? What would I regret? What would I think of? And that's when I realized how empty I felt underneath all that success. And so I committed myself and my life to really understanding why that happened and how to live from the core of who I am. What am I really passionate about? What really brings me alive? Not from a place of fear, but from a place of possibility, love, joy, and this freedom of expression. And that's why I created Live From Your Core.
And I want us to just pause for a moment. Ron, thank you so much for sharing your journey and some of those pivotal points. And listeners, I want you to pause for a moment and really think about that. If you had 30 minutes left to live, if this was your last day, because tomorrow is not a guarantee. It's not a promise. It's a hope, it's an expectation, but it's not a guarantee. And the way you're living your life right now, is that living from the core or something else like Ron was describing? And Ron, is it okay if we just take a collective moment together to listen to our hearts and our minds in response to what Ron just shared and that question? Are you living from your core? If this was your last day, at 30 minutes left, are you living a life from your core and your heart. And listeners, just observe the response, no judgment. But when we have that awareness, then we can make a shift like Ron did to move to a place where we are doing that. And Ron, I know that's part of your 6 pathways to success I'm calling it success. That's my word, but that's how living from your core to me is success. So some of it's how you define that. But do you mind explaining quickly about your 6 pathways to live from your core?
Yeah, I'd love to explain it and give a high-level overview. But it's really this journey. They all start with the letter P. And what I've found is that I ask the question, what does it take to feel fulfilled in life? And the answer turned out to be, living from your core. But how do you do that? How do you really transform yourself in your life? And I found that these pathways were the answers, and I guide clients through that. And so the first pathway is the pathway of perspective, and that's the clarity to understand your life, to understand that the duality in yourself, that your core self and your conditioned self, and always trying to come back to your core to live from that place of authenticity and purity and love. The second pathway is presence, and that's the clarity to experience life. And a lot of times, I've experienced this in parts of my life when I end the day and I'm like, what happened to my day? And it was like I wasn't there. I was just on automatic and just living. And wisdom and insight and growth comes from really experiencing life, including the emotions, no matter how challenging they may feel, and knowing where you are and being there, because that's the first step, is knowing where you are and experiencing what you're experiencing, your body, your emotions. The third pathway is peace. It's the clarity to accept who you are, because when we don't accept ourselves in our past, when we have traumas or shame or things that pull us back to a past event that hasn't been concluded, that has still a lot of emotions that are triggered by your pet peeves, triggered by situations in your life where you're brought into this emotion that's not about the now and what's happening, but it's about something in your past, then we can't experience our life. We can't connect to that core essence that is our source of connection with people. The fourth pathway... Oh, go ahead.
And it looks like we are going to get ready to go to commercial break here in just a moment. So yes, if I can pause us there, and do you mind just explaining really quickly what your free gift is, and then we can come back to those couple last pathways. So yes, would you explain your gift?
Yes. So my gift is, I'm really passionate about helping people who want to make a difference in the world, who are going through this journey of awakening, of wanting to come home and live from their core and want to make this big impact. And sometimes they get stuck because they feel like they're out of alignment, or they're struggling to get a clear vision. And I want to share some strategies and insights that will help you on your journey through a 45-minute strategy session, because I really want you to shine your light and make the difference you're meant to make in the world.
Beautiful. So, Ron, we're going to lean into our break here, and listeners, I invite you, if some of what Ron has shared with you and that living from the core, and you'd like some strategies to be empowered to do that, then I really encourage you to check out his free gift and sign up for that strategy session with him. So again, make sure to click the free show gifts so you have an opportunity to explore all of those wonderful supportive tools to help you on your journey. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
live up to your fullest potential. This is the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Join Rebecca Hall Gruyter this fall for a Women's Enrichment Retreat, November 13th, 14th, and 15th at the beautiful Westminster Retreat Center in Alamo, California, in San Francisco's East Bay area. Take time for you and step into your vision in a powerful and sustainable way. This is an all-inclusive retreat in a beautiful and nourishing environment, giving you plenty of time to relax, decompress, and refresh, while having the opportunity to connect with yourself and other heart-centered women on a deep level. To find out more, visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/WER.
Now you can take your favorite Voice America radio program with you anywhere. Sign up for our mobile app if you have an iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry. The Voice America Interactive Radio Player, powered by Aircast, gives you the freedom to listen to any of our programs, anywhere, live and on demand. No registration is required. Listen to your favorite Voice America hosts and discover new ones. Download the Voice America mobile app for iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry, powered by Aircast. Visit the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Success starts here. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com. It's your world.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you had a great commercial break there and got a chance to check out the amazing gifts. And we had a little bit of a cliffhanger, so we wanted to make sure we let you know the last 3 steps of or pathways, I should say, of the 6 pathways that Ron was sharing about. So, Ron, do you mind quickly sharing those last 3 pathways?
Yes. So the 4th pathway is purpose, and it's the clarity of direction. It's that passion that moves you and getting a clear vision. The 5th pathway is possibility, and it's the clarity to believe and really break through some of these limiting beliefs that we sometimes have. And the last pathway is the pathway of power, and it's the clarity to take action and really create that life that you're meant to create. And I have this process that I guide my clients through to really go through this amazing transformational journey through these 6 pathways that I invite you to sign up for a free strategy session so we can get started and share a little bit more about how this all works.
Beautiful, and that they can be empowered to live from their core. So thank you, Ron, for sharing. I so appreciate that.
Thank you.
And Nancy, I loved a comment that you were making just as we were starting to come back to the show. And do you mind if I quote that back?
Sure. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So Nancy was sharing how she loved listening and absorbing what was being shared. And she said that, when we live from the core, when people start living from their purpose and living in their purpose, that's how we begin and are changing the planet. So, Nancy, thank you for sharing that.
No, you're welcome.
Well, listeners, it has been a wonderful journey with you today. Guests, Nancy and Ron, I so appreciate you sharing your passion and your heart with each of us today and really giving us some ways to pause and ask some questions to see, are we living from our core, and what does it mean when we start stepping into that and growing and living on purpose and with purpose. And the concept of really honoring ourselves as we go through the journey and creating a safe and supportive space for each of us. And then allowing the journey, allowing the flow of what is to be to come through us, and to work with that and give it some space to move within our life. And then really, as discomfort comes up, because it will when you're stretching, when you're stepping into something you haven't done before, to remember to lean in. And if you're not ever feeling discomfort, you're not feeling fear, I invite you to look in that as well, because perhaps you aren't leaning in as deeply as you could, or maybe there's a layer or a level you're hiding behind. One of the most powerful tools I have discovered in my journey is pausing. Like we did while Ron was sharing, how we paused for a moment and we asked the questions. And you were sharing, Nancy, how you felt there was this disconnect and you wanted to help before they were having some of the challenges. And so you paused and you sought answers, and then you leaned in to moving in a direction to support them. And so, listeners, I want to encourage you to really live an empowered life, but to build some of these tools into your life. Pausing, asking questions, honoring yourself. And if there is something that you needed that came to your heart and mind that would be supportive of your journey, then I encourage you to lean into it. If some of what Nancy shared with you resonates with you and you're looking for that support and someone that really cares about your business and your relationship with money, lean into that. If you're looking for somebody that can help you live from your core, that has a process that is walking that talk and can help you do that, then lean in to what Ron has offered you. And most importantly, what I want you to do, what I want you to be able to build into your life, is a way of being more fully who you are. And what one of my friends says, Laura Lopez, the Renaissance woman, she talks about really being more of who you truly are and less of what everyone else expects you to be. I want you to dive fully into who you are. Discover where you start and stop, what your gifts and talents and abilities are, because the world needs you, all of you, fully you. And no one else can take your spot and fill it exactly as you're designed and made to be and fill that space. So take a moment, breathe that in. And I invite you to make a decision. And the decision is with your next breath. Who is it that you want to be and choose to be? With your next breath, because the choice is absolutely yours. We can't always choose the circumstances that come to us, the challenges that we face, but we can choose our response in that, what we lean into, how we show up in our life. If it is the last 30 minutes we have to live, if this is our last day, our last time together, how do you want to be? in this moment? If you don't pass this way again, how do you want to leave the path you're walking, the way you're touching others? And I really encourage you to pause, to be purposeful with it, to be conscious of how you are being. And if you find, this is not the way I want to be, remember to take a breath. And as you breathe out and get ready to take that next breath, step into who you are and who you want to be. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful week. I will look forward to talking to you next week, where we're going to really dive into your power and your passion and your purpose. But may you always, always, every step you take, everything that comes into your life, may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.